Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna romp. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend.
Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Let me not be rude. For those of you who are new, welcome to Styles by Baddies. I post new videos every week and they all revolve around beauty related content, along with me giving a voiceover, telling you guys a story time to keep you entertained. So be sure to subscribe and join the family. Today I'll be giving a story time about the smoke session that went horribly wrong. One of my friends got laced, she started tripping out, and we had to call the cops, okay? Now, if you want to be featured in any of my videos, email me your stories at stylesbybaddies20@gmail.com. Please keep in mind my emails are literally flooded with you guys' story times, which I appreciate, but I do ask for patience. That's all. Anyways, let's hop right into the story time. It all started on a random Friday night. Me and my friends, let's call them Tasha, Amber, Jay, and Marcus, decided to hang out at Marcus's place. Marcus was the chill spot friend who always had a nice setup with comfy couches, good music, and lots of snacks. We were all planning to relax, vibe out, and have a regular smoke session. Everyone bought their own stuff, pre-rolls, a few edibles, the usual. It was supposed to be just another fun night. Everything was fine at first. We were laughing, joking around, and vibing to music, but then Tasha started acting off. At first, she was just quiet, which was weird for her because Tasha is usually the loudest one in the group. Then she started mumbling to herself, looking around like she was paranoid. I was like, Tasha, are you good? And she just looked at me with these wide, manic eyes. Her pupils were darting around like she was seeing things that weren't there. And she whispered, "They're watching me." Everyone started laughing because, we thought she was just too high. Jay even joked and was like, "Damn, Tasha, what did you smoke? Pass me some of that." But then it got worse. She stood up and started pacing back and forth saying, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." Her hands were shaking and her breathing got super heavy. That's when we realized this wasn't just a regular high. Something was seriously wrong. Amber and I ran over to her, trying to calm her down, but she started screaming, "Get away from me, you're all trying to kill me." At this point, I was freaked out because I was concerned about neighbors and people hearing her say these things, and they take it serious and call the cops. And mind you, we were like 16, 17 at this time, still minors. So we're not even supposed to be in possession of this stuff at all. We're just, being dumb teenagers. Marcus was trying to keep everyone calm, but Tasha was completely losing it. Like, she started knocking stuff over, breaking decorations that was in the house, taking off her clothes even. Like, at one point she was just in her underwear, I believe, and she was saying that she was on fire, like she was too hot. She even broke the TV Marcus had in his living room. Like, it was that bad. It was like she wasn't even in her right mind anymore. And I was really concerned for my friend. Amber was panicking, yelling, "We need to call someone." Jay was like, "Nah, she'll be fine. She's just tripping." But I knew this wasn't normal. Like, I just had a strong feeling in my gut. Tasha was clawing at her arms like she was trying to scratch something off her skin. So hard too, like muttering, "They're crawling on me." Then she started banging her head, like literally banging her head against the wall, saying, "Get out of my head," like she was hearing voices or something. And the scariest part was when she suddenly froze, stared blankly at nothing, and started laughing uncontrollably. But it wasn't her at all. That's when I grabbed my phone and called 911. I knew we didn't have a choice. But before I could dial, Marcus snatched the phone out of my hand and he was like, "Don't do that. You'll just make it worse. She doesn't need cops. She just needs to write it out." I stared at him very much so confused and irritated. And I'm like, "Write it out. She's literally losing it, Marcus." Then Amber chimed in yelling, "We need to help her." But Marcus kept blocking us, saying, "Just chill. You don't want the cops involved. Trust me." Something about the way he said it didn't sit right with me. Like, what do you mean? Of course I want the cops involved for my friend. Friend or not, actually. Like, this wasn't normal and she seemed unwell. I figured maybe because he had a track record with the cops or was too scared of getting in trouble, which was understandable, but we would have been messed up friends to just leave her there acting abnormally. So I turned to Marcus and said, "Why are you acting so weird about this? You're more worried about the cops than Tasha." He got defensive and started mumbling, "It's not a big deal. She just smoked too much. That's all." That's when it hit me. Marcus was acting way too suspicious. I decided to grab Tasha's blunt from off the table we were at and said, "What's in this?" He hesitated for a second before saying, "Nothing, it's just regular weed." But Amber wasn't buying it either. She was like, "Marcus, did you lace it?" At first, he kept denying it, but when I kept pressing him, he finally snapped and said, "Fine, I added a little something extra, okay?" I didn't think it'd be a big deal. I just thought it would make the high more fun, loosen her up a bit. She's always so uptight and serious, like she never really lets go. I didn't think it'd hit her this hard. I've done it before and no one else freaked out like this. He paused, realizing we were all staring at him in disbelief because we were so confused, and was like, "Look, I was just trying to make the night more interesting. I didn't think anyone would get hurt. It was supposed to be harmless." I was so livid just hearing him say that out of his mouth. Like, y'all don't even understand. I'm like, are you serious right now? You laced her weed without telling her? You could have killed her. He tried brushing it off, saying it's not that serious, she'll be fine, but by then I was done listening to him. I snatched my phone back and dialed 911 anyway. Like, she was literally banging her head against the wall and screaming that things are crawling on her. Like, y'all tell me in what way, shape, or form is that harmless? I couldn't believe how casual he was being about the whole thing. Like, okay, you claim that it was just supposed to be harmless and you didn't mean it like that, but how can you just still do nothing and be so calm after seeing her do those things? Like, this was just some minor mistake. But by then, like I said, I was done listening to him. I snatched my phone back and dialed 911 anyway. When the cops and paramedics arrived, they immediately took Tasha to the hospital. I told the cops everything, including what Marcus had done. Marcus tried to downplay it, saying it was just a joke, but obviously the cops didn't care about that, the same way we didn't. They searched the place and found more of the stuff Marcus had used to lace the weed. Turns out it was some synthetic drug he got from a sketchy plug. Marcus was arrested, and honestly, he deserved it for being so stupid and selfish and, careless. Tasha has spent the night in the hospital, but she was eventually recovered the next day, and they sent her home. Thank God. She was very upset, though, when I told her what Marcus had done, and we all decided to cut him off completely. The trust was gone, and there was no coming back from something like that. This was a lesson for us all to, never do drugs that young. And if you didn't watch the person roll it, don't smoke it, okay? That's my biggest advice. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to my story time. If you've ever dealt with toxic friends or been in a scary situation like this, let me know in the comments or in my email, of course. I'd love to hear how you handled it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories. Bye, baddies.
Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna rump. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her.